I think there's a bit of ease in understanding the process of filmmaking, which maybe I didn't have on my first day of Refugee. I never even thought about people talking as they are so graciously about my work, and I thank them for it. I'm very humbled and touched. This is something where actors, lean very heavily on the writers.
Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update.
Hello, Nikita. How are you?
Hi Abhishek, very well. How have you been? Are you still fresh or are you a little, with all the interviews, a little
Oh,
done?
no, I love talking. Don't worry. I can do this all night.
20 years you've completed in Bollywood. I'm going to take you back 20 years ago and make you think a little harder. Do you remember the first day on the sets of Refugee?
Yes, absolutely, vividly. I remember almost every day. The first week of the shoot, Bebo and I show up at the shoot, and JP Saab would not shoot with us. And we'd get ready, and then he'd call at the end of the day, call pack up, and we'd just drive back to the hotel. And after a week of doing this, when it's nerve wracking because you're like, okay, it didn't happen today. Tomorrow for sure you're going to shoot, and the nerves of that get to you. And when that continued, and after a while, from the nerves and being nervous about it, you start getting a bit frustrated. Okay, when's it going to happen? I need to get on with this. And I remember almost a week into this process, suddenly one day I was like, okay, we're not going to shoot. And I went to remove my makeup and got out of my costume, and I went and sat in the trailer when suddenly the assistant came and said, your shot's ready. And we're losing light, sun's going down, run. And I actually remember I gave my first ever shot for Refugee. It was a passing shot where I'm walking with Karina and her family that I'm taking from one side of the border to the other. And I'm just have to cross frame. And I remember my first shot was one where I had no makeup, hair, nothing. I just somehow put on my costume, half of which JP Saab made me remove and changed everything. And it was so haphazardly done. And I later on realized that was just his way of easing us into it, because he realized we both big newcomers and relative kids. I mean, I think Bebo was 17 or something, and I was 21, 22. It was just his way of allowing us to just ease into this process. And that was the level of care he took with the two of us. So the first shot was just a shot on the run of Kutch where I'm walking from right camera to left camera. And that was it.
Now, cut to 20 years later, how was the first day different in Breathe? It's a long journey.
Different.
It's not different. You're very nervous. I think there's a bit of ease in understanding the process of filmmaking, which maybe I didn't have on my first day of Refugee. You understand the process and what's going to happen and how it's going to happen, but you're still very nervous because, am I going to get it right? Oh my God, is the director going to think that he made a mistake? Are the unit members going to think I'm doing a good job? So there are all these things, but most importantly, you're nervous about doing your job properly because you still want to do your job properly. So the nerves are exactly the same.
First of all, I was looking at the trailer, and I have to tell you some of the comments that got my attention. Somebody said, Abhishek Bachchan's performance will take my breath away.
Okay, that one I expected.
There are many, many more such comments. This is the impact of a 3-minute trailer. Did you comprehend you'll get so much love even before the launch of the series?
To be very fair, Nikita, it wasn't about the love or not, but the fact is you make a trailer to start a conversation, to plant the seeds of intrigue and tease the audience into wanting to come and see the show. So that's the function of the trailer. I'm happy that has happened. And I never even thought about people talking as they are so graciously about my work, and I thank them for it. I'm very humbled and touched. But it was at the end of the day, it's about the show. At the end of the day, it's about the team, and we all have to do a great job in order for us to achieve success.
Often actors try and relate to real life observations to play a role. It helps them, imagine. How did you sort of get in the skin of this character while having to imagine the circumstances that Avinash was surrounded by?
This is something where actors, lean very heavily on the writers for. What was wonderful, and I've said this publicly several times, and I say it with great pride, the heroes of Breathe Into the Shadow are the writers. They've done an immense job. When I first read the entire script with dialogues and the screenplay, it was something I just could not put down. It was so well written. And I really, really enjoyed it. Now, when you have material that is written so well, your job becomes that much easier because there's less for you to imagine and create because that's already written in there for you. So be it Bhavani Iyer, Vikram Tulli or Arshad Saeed and Mayank, who have all four written the series, they've done such a fantastic job that it really makes my life a lot easier. Coupled with that, because it is a 12-episode series, you do realize that you're going to get that much more time to be able to flesh out and deep dive into your character and really bring out certain nuances, which luxury I am not afforded in, say, a motion picture, because I only have 2 to 3 hours to justify everything. And over here, I have almost 12. But that luxury is only going to be worth something if the writing supports it. So it was wonderful to work with a team of writers that were just so on the ball and had just done such a wonderful job. And like I said, what are the nuances? Yeah, we did extensive prep. You try and work out the most basic, rudimentary things about the character because you have the opportunity. So I don't think that there is any nuance that you would discover, but it's just the fact that you have that much more time and space to work with and work on. So yeah, we did the same thing. The approach is the same as it is in cinema.
You're playing a psychiatrist. Portraying some characters can sometimes be harrowing. Did you automatically sort of switch off into being Abhishek?
It's not that easy. You have to have immense control over your craft. There's always a little bit of yourself or the character that bleed into each other. But very minimal. It doesn't have to be anything major. So yeah, it is necessary to be able to slip in and out of the character. It is good to be able to leave your work at home, at your workplace and not bring it home. But a little bit always lingers on.
This is your OTT debut in a way. Online streaming functions is that things that function for a series are very different than that for films. Since you worked for the big screen always, how did you sort of immerse yourself in the way this was shot, whether it be the pace, the way the story unfolds?
Technical side of it, so the execution of it, the shooting of it is exactly the same as film. There's no difference at all. From the speed at which you work, to the quality of work that you're doing, to the technical aspect of it, exactly the same as filmmaking. So I had no issues with that. For me, like I've always said, I didn't do 12 episodes. I shot 4 films. That's the way I've always looked at it.
A lot of how their work is reflected in the way their co-stars react to the scenes. What was it like working with the whole cast?
Each and every one, it was brilliant. Starting with Nitya, it was my first time I worked with her, and she's just such an immensely talented actor. To Amit, to Sayami, to Rishikesh, to Vikrant, all of them. There's some wonderful, wonderful talent that came together, and Mayank managed to put together for this show. And you're just so thankful when you have such great actors to work with, because like I said, you kind of end up living in reflected glory. Your work becomes better because of them. The format of a web series is you can't have just a double act structure to your narrative. In this sequence, this is going to be the highlight. Because there's the fear that your audience may disconnect and just switch over. there has to be something that's almost happening every scene. You don't have those scenes to just allow the audience to settle down, after interval, etc., etc., etc. There has to be some. The screenplay has to continuously move. It's very kinetic in that way. So keeping that in mind, every scene is filled with so much material and so much for you to do. So for me, every scene was just amazing to work with all these guys.